Mental health, mental health awareness. Two things that you hear about not nearly as much as you should. We need to try to take mental health awareness and raise it up, give it the proper attention that it needs, proper attention that it deserves, and we need to get rid of the stigma behind mental health awareness. Got my good friend, Desmond, also known as D. June, the boss. We're gonna sit down. I got two, maybe three questions that I want to ask him in regards to mental health and mental health awareness. Hopefully, we can take these couple of minutes to spend some time sharing his experiences, sharing some information and some insight from the other side of Mental Health Awareness Month. All right. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. So, Des, I've known you. It's been several years now. Several years.
At least 10 years. JFL been going 10 years, so it's been at least that.
Into the mic.
Oh, at least 10 years. JFL been going 10 years, so it's been at least that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things I knew about you, but there's a lot of things I didn't know. You know, it's only been just a few years since I heard about PTSD and how it relates to you and you suffering from PTSD. Personally, I don't know much about PTSD other than what's printed. But even with the stuff that's printed, sometimes you got to question it because they may not have all of the facts. They may only be presenting just enough, and not necessarily the whole story. So right now, we're going to give you an opportunity to share your story as well as just answer my questions here. So first and foremost, and I thought about this question and how I wanted to frame it. Hopefully it doesn't confuse anybody or offend anybody. So can you say you knew how long you've had PTSD, as well as can you pinpoint when it was pointed out to you that you had PTSD? Because there's sometimes someone could say, hey, haven't been feeling well. You know, I got a cold or something like that. You know, then 2 weeks later, they're like, man, you got walking pneumonia.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Then they're dead.
Right. So when did you think, okay, something might be wrong? And then when did you hear, I have PTSD?
Well, when I came home in 2004, all I wanted to do was drink and go out and chase women. Like, I just came home from the service. I was depressed, but I didn't know I was depressed. I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. Like, I stopped washing my car. I stopped keeping up with my personal appearance.
And this is all after coming back from being deployed?
Yeah. I got back to the States in February of 04. And I came home. I got out of the service in November. That's when I came back to Jessica and Jayla and Jasmine. And it took me a few years, but it actually took me a long time to realize that I resented Jessica for a long time. And that was part of it. You know what I'm saying? So you mix that in with the depression and the post-traumatic stress disorder and me just not knowing how to be a father and a husband. Just you mix all that together and it's just a ticking time bomb, bro. It was just, you know what I mean? As far as it being pointed out, I was just reckless, man. I was just reckless.
You saw yourself as reckless, or loved ones, friends, family, they saw it?
Jessica saw me as reckless. I think my mom I think my mom mentioned a couple times some things. My grandma probably said some. Uh, she probably saw some things, but my grandma wasn't the kind of person to point it out. You know,
Okay.
she wasn't the kind of person to say anything bad about it. You know, but it wasn't until Jessica came to me and told me like, "Hey man, you gonna have to get some help, or we out of here." And that's what it was. And so I went to the VA and I started seeing the therapist, and they put me on medication and all this. And um, that was in February 2009.
So you went to the VA and the therapist. The therapist looked you in the eye and said, "You have PTSD."
Yeah.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this has been some years.
Yeah.
This ain't been just yesterday.
Nah, it's been a minute. It's been a long time.
So now let's take a look at that, because you mentioned your family, you mentioned your grandma. You know, we two grown ass black men living here in the South.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the second someone mentions depression or that they're not feeling well in the black community, the first thing out their mouth is, "You need to just go and pray it away," or
Oh yeah.
"You need to just go and chill out," or something like that. It's never really taken seriously in the black community, and I can't say that it's like that now. It may be that way to a degree, but thinking 10, 20 years ago, oh man, nobody gave a shit. Nobody believed in it until now.
It's not like that now to you and I.
Yeah.
Because I think me and you, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without ruffling any feathers. You know how I am.
Hey, this is your moment, and if feathers got to be ruffled, it is what it is. If the truth hurts, you'll be in pain. That's just how it goes.
It doesn't seem that way to you, and it just, you and I aren't still entrenched in the black community as we once were.
Right.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not in the traditional black church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have all black friends.
Right.
Hell, I'm not even married to a black person. You know what I'm saying? But we're not constantly surrounded by black people,
right, as
we were growing up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. It's humongous difference.
And you see a different community. I'm not going to sit there and say those other communities, the non-black communities, are perfect or anything, but it's a difference in the way people approach things and the way people view things.
Yeah.
With the time that you spent in the service, how long was that? Was that 4 years, 8
years?
6 years.
6 years.
Wow, so you went beyond the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Something, you must have liked something about it.
I loved it, man. I wanted to do 20, man. I would have did 20.
See, now, the controversy behind I'm military, because, we're here in America and, we got the gung-ho patriotism that really trips me out when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But yet at the same time, we have just as many people that are against the military because of what it can do to someone's mind, what it can do to their psyche. So you spent 6 years over there.
Can't be against the military, man.
I didn't say I was. I'm saying I could walk out to the town square right now and find you at least one person that says, "No, I wish we didn't have to send our boys to the military. They're too young to do this. They're too young to do that. But they're old enough to go and die." And, that story.
Somebody got to do it.
Right. And then they'll always throw in just the post-traumatic stress that comes along with it, because it does change people to, like you said, you're going to see a lot of different cultures over there or wherever you're stationed.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also going to be exposed to some things that might not happen in your backyard.
Oh yeah,
IEDs
definitely.
And stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So with that 6 years under your belt, you know, is there anything that you can pinpoint that says, you know what, that's where it all started. That's where part of my problem started. Because I know some people right now that spent time in the military, and they can give me examples of, they said, you know what, I didn't like what I saw, and I'll never forget that. And I can't let it go. And it really, really bothers them to this day.
I have examples of that, but I can't give you one example of when, okay, that's when my PTSD started.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Bro, I was in Iraq for 13 months from January of 03 to February of 04.
Right.
Like,
and it wasn't a quiet time.
Nah, bro. We was over there when it first jumped off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was popping when we was over there.
Yeah.
Shock and awe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I talked to my mama. We went. The war started on her birthday, March 19th. I talked to her the night prior, and she on the phone crying, slobbering.
Yeah.
Cause at the same time, you got my brother's in the Navy. He on the ship over there.
Yeah.
And she just,
there's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah, and I'm just like, Mom, I'm gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming home. Pat come on too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't know if I was, but I was just trying to make her feel better about the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That next morning, we going across the board. I don't talk to my mom again for I don't.
Yeah.
A couple months maybe.
You know, so when you look at scenarios like that with the families back home, and the family is concerned about your well-being, and for some people, it stresses them out to know that somebody else is stressed out about them. You know what I'm saying? Now, did you experience some time like that over there? Or
yeah, I'm gonna tell you a funny story.
And when there's people experiencing stuff like that, what kind of support system were you able to get? Was it from the military that offered anything? Was it from a civilian? Or
let me get it right. There was a time that I did need support a couple months down the line.
Mm-hmm.
When Jasmine was born. Right? And I'm telling you,
not there to see her.
No, I was not there to see her. And you gotta think, and you know me a long time, and you gotta take the 10 years you know me and project it back to a 24-year-old me.
Okay.
An angry me.
Okay.
A me in Iraq.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you an example of something that happened. We had a flag football team, man. Right? I was the quarterback of the flag football team. Right?
Yep.
Jasmine is just born. They're debating on whether they're gonna let me come home to see Jasmine.
Debating.
Yeah, because I'm not married. We're not married at the time.
Okay.
You gotta remember now. At this point, I'm a live wire at this point. Like, it's September. Like, we over there. We don't know why the hell we over there. Like, this shit done got played out.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know when the hell we coming home. We don't know if we coming home. We done got cats that got Purple Hearts already. Done got hit with shrapnel. We getting bombed every day. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the quarterback of the flag football team.
All right.
Jasmine is just born.
Yeah.
They're debating on whether they're going to let me come home.
All right.
Now, you got to remember, this is a big thing now. I'm a mechanic. I kid you not. Me and 3 other mechanics had daughters 4 consecutive months.
Man.
So Naparella got
back to back.
me and Naparella.
Plenty of reason for them to debate.
Yeah, plenty of reason for the debate. So Naparella and Hudson, they didn't have any kids. These were their first kids. So of course they're gonna go.
Yeah.
And I outranked both of those guys.
Plot thickness.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have a problem with those guys going.
Yeah.
If you still gonna let me go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think while Hudson was gone, this is why Hudson was gone. I'm working on a damn Humvee. I cut my finger, right?
Right.
I'm at the damn TMC. I gotta get stitches in my finger. Right?
You're a mechanic. You clearly need that finger.
I'm getting stitches in my finger. Right? I come out of the TMC after getting stitches in my finger. Now keep in mind, I'm the quarterback of the flag football team. Jasmine is just born, right? And I just get stitches in my hand. I'm coming out of the TMC. I'm going back. They give me some pain meds and whatever. I'm going back up to our little area.
Yeah.
I see our lieutenant or whatever. He comes up to me. June, is everything all right? Blah, blah, blah. How's it going? Is everything? And I'm like, I don't know, sir. I think they're going to let me go home or blah, blah, blah. He says, no, I was talking about the game. Are you going to be able to play? I said, I don't know. And I just walked off, and that like
priorities there.
That just like pissed me off. And I went in there and I talked to my platoon sergeant, and I pretty much told him, bro, look, man, if y'all don't let me go home and see my baby, man, y'all are gonna have a problem on y'all hands. And they let me go home for 2 weeks.
But it seems like it would have been just status quo if they didn't